Hey everyone, I know it's a little late, but I wanted to go ahead and announce a new program I'm doing. It's not for everyone, but it's going to be individual based. And so for the individuals who do it, it's going to be very deep, very intense, and very transformational. So I'm pretty excited about it because um, I've been putting out different information to help empower people spiritually. And so I created a program um, to do it. So it's the Spiritually Empowered Woman. And so it's an 8-week program. I wanted to talk about it and answer any questions. So, what we're going to focus on over the 8 weeks, it will be individual. We're really going to tune into you. So, it's going to be full support for your energy. I'm only have space for a couple just because of the schedule with my real estate investing business. I can't take too many one on ones, and the one on one support is going to be so deep that I can only do two because of the impact it'll have on my schedule. But what it is going to do, it's going to be for spiritual development and training, and sort of training you to be more empowered, training you on the skills. Like, how do you become so empowered that everyone you meet, you command respect? How do you get to the point where you work on all the healing on the inside so much that you just being is healing to other people and everyone around you? So it's also going to go into training you on your boundaries, which I think is actually the most important. If you take care of your boundaries, that is the most important thing to be sovereign, spiritually intact, and powerful. And it takes work for some of us to work on those boundaries. And so that'll be a part of it too. So it's the spiritually empowered woman, and it's a way for very, very, very deep transformation. So tuning into you, also doing for 8 weeks, having weekly support as well as bonus workshops that go into sort of your spiritual development and spiritual training on becoming more discerning, more intuitive, being able to be more decisive. If you've ever been someone who just doesn't know which way to go a lot of the times, or you just don't know which way to go, you can't make decisive decisions. It's really to help you train to tune in to your spirit and higher self, so that you can be more decisive, so your boundaries are intact, you know how to handle work relationships or not, and all of this deep transformational work, and go into deep healing of your most present traumas. We all have traumas that extend all the way back to childhood, and just doing the most pressing ones that have had the biggest impact on your energy, so you're not ascending and so that you're being triggered. So we work on those first over the 8 weeks as well. So with the deep trauma healing, with the training and attunement to you being able to super be intuitive and tell and have discernment, just being an all around transformed woman, empowered woman, and even working on training you in protection, both psychic and physical, and how to be, and just how to transform into a woman. There's men out there, but honestly, I think I already know it's probably going to be a woman I work with. But how to transform into the person you are is beautiful. How to do that deep inner work so that you command respect wherever you go. You command respect anytime you enter into a room. And if you don't get it, you have the wonderful sense of discernment and boundaries in place. So you nip it in the bud and it doesn't go too far. So this is a spiritually empowered woman. It is a new program. And on top of that, you guys know I just give and give and give. So like I created this and I was like, oh, and I'm going to give you this. Oh, and I'm going to give you that. So there's also some workshops that we're going to go over, and you're also going to get, in addition to the emotional. So we'll work on the emotional healing and trauma clearing of all of your current and most pressing triggers to really transform, get that out of you, release it in the easiest way. You can release all of this on your own, but it's honestly easier just working with someone who can move and shift the energy. Just get it out, ground it, replace it with what's needed, and go on to the next thing. It's just the fastest transformation you're going to get, especially with that high vibrational energy shift and changing. And if you've done any of my healings, you know they're very powerful, very deep, and very intense, but you will feel 10 times lighter. And what's the proof? I mean, like, I show up and I have a certain energy. My energy for the most part's fun, calm, joyful, unbothered, but I'm that way because I'm spiritually empowered. And we're spiritual beings having a human existence. So when you learn how to empower yourself spiritually, why should you be bothered? If something gets on your nerves, you just know how to handle it on top. And I want to train and develop women into being like really, I'm just going to say it, really badass about it, because we need more of us out there just emitting positivity, because we can be positive, because we've done all this work. We released all these insecurities. We can show up for our daughters. We can show up for our husbands, or we can attract great dates and great men and manifest easier, become magnetic, because we don't have all those hidden layers underneath. And then when you add your discernment and the workshops, I'm going to do some bonus workshops where you're going to do the workshop, but then I'm going to work on you one-on-one outside of our trauma healing, and go deeper into making sure that you've mastered it. So you can be clairvoyant, and you can tune in and tap to spirit, and you can do all of those things, and you are spiritually protected, and you know how to do it, so that you're not phased in this 3D world at all. This 3D world can be your playground, but you have to train in that. It doesn't just come, and you have to work with someone who has mastered that as well. So it is a new program. It's called the Spiritually Empowered Women. And I really want to, the boundaries one is actually really going to be a big one. So half of this will be led by you, especially with the emotional trauma clearing. So you will lead that part, because we'll have to address your issues. And I generally do that with consultation with your higher self, your spirit team, on, okay, what's the higher perspective? What's the learning? What's the impact? How do we clear it? How do we get past it? Doing the work to do that. So that'll be led by you, but the other half will also be led by me, because I need you to be transformed. I need you to have strong boundaries with your coworkers and people at work and have that skill set. I'll need to be spiritually empowered, and to be able to be decisive and make the decision. Just be the woman that you've always wanted to be, but the one that's magnetic and attractive to everyone else, because you've done so much of the work and you vibrate at such a high rate that you just being in the room calms everything down, right? And I'm also going to get into, and there's certain psychic gifts and abilities that I have. I honestly don't say publicly, because if you knew them, you'd probably be scared of me. But I'd also like to teach you. And I really can't tell you, because it would really freak people out to know, once you do your spiritual development and training, some of the things that you're able to do, because you're so in tune and aware. And when everyone else isn't aware, that just gives you more power and more emanation, because they aren't. So that's what we're doing. And so that is an 8-week program. It's going to be one-on-one. And you also get video support. So in between, if you have questions, or you've done some work, you have questions before we meet again, you can definitely go ahead and email me, and I'll reply through video. I'm a talker, not a writer. I'm a speaker. That's my gift and ability. I am not a writer. So if you email me a question, I will do a video response and get it back to you, and just shoot it back. Of course, like, nothing too crazy. Don't do it every day, but like, you're going to have things that come up, and like being able to get video support is pretty big. So it's going to be pretty high tech in some ways, but at the end of this, you will be stronger. You will be emotionally stronger, emotionally more intelligent. You will have better relationships with people. You will have very strong boundaries and the ability to go back into them. You'll also activate your divine feminine goddess codes, and also heal a lot of your trauma or any triggers that you have, any past relationships you couldn't get past, or you're wondering, or that ravaged you maybe, or tore up your self-esteem. Really clear all that stuff that tore you down, clear it out, replace with what we really need to replace with, learn the lesson, which is why I will be in consultation with your higher self. It'll just be really tuned into you. You will be 8 weeks of fully attuned to you, 100% one-on-one support. So there's 2 spaces for that. I can't do more than that, because the amount of support I'll be doing, because I have another coaching business I do. But the thing is, like, even though I love doing that and I get people to the goal, this is just something that we need more healed women, but fully, like, really deeply healed and psychically and spiritually developed and empowered women in this world. on one hand, I like the fact that when I go out, like it's me. But on the other hand, this world is a better place when we all learn what our natural place is and how powerful we truly are and how to stand in that power, and how in standing in that power, that spiritual truth and power, because you took the time to invest in yourself and psychic development, that you truly can be. And all of a sudden, you become an anchor to every single person around you. It's funny. I go on these dates and I'm like, even if we just met, like by the end of the night, if they throw something at me, like they really truly listen to my opinion and they highly value it. And because I just have a higher perspective, because once you become spiritually empowered, this 3D world doesn't bother you. So you just see it from a higher plane. And everything I do is just I see it from a higher perspective and what the learning lesson is. And when you can just sort of be that person who always has a higher perspective and doesn't react, is emotionally grounded and stable, that is the most healing energy on the planet. It's divine feminine energy, but it goes back to doing the work to be fully self-empowered. So that is what I wanted to share. So any questions for anyone who's out there? I did see a couple people watching the live. Sorry it's so late. I'm just looking at my notes on the program. Yeah, and how you get in touch with me? If you're interested, you can go ahead and sign up and call me with the clarity session. It's like 15 minutes, but I want to make sure that it's that I'll be a good fit and that we will work well together. So then you can call me, get more information after you book a call. So any questions going on? It's 10 o'clock. I didn't realize it was so late. All right, guys, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna post the link below. I hope you're excited about it. I hope to hear from you guys. I am here and available. And yeah, let's see who will be the most transformed after 8 weeks. If you're just logging on, go ahead and catch the replay. Ask a question in the replay. I will answer. All right. Thank you, guys. Bye.